Queen Elizabeth's death at the age of 96 ends not just the longest reign in British history, but also begins a period of mourning and likely great change in the UK. In the immediate term, sporting events are called off. Some businesses won't be opening their doors today. The Bank of England delayed its meeting as well. King Charles III, as he is now known, the Queen's eldest son, will address the nation, that is the UK, at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Joining us to discuss all of this is Hilary Fordwich, global business analyst and royal commentator. Hilary, thank you so much for being here. And our producers told us you have something of a scoop or a little bit of information to share with us to kick us off.
Well, absolutely. I have lots, Julie. Pleasure to be with you, although ghastly circumstances, because your previous guest, Jack, he was mentioning Elton John and you were talking about the concert. Well, he was live at his concert and he actually broadcast photographs of Queen Elizabeth, and he talked about the fact that he gave a great accolade and said she'd worked bloody hard. Well, something interesting, actually, many years ago when he was knighted, of course, we all know he's Elton John, now Sir Elton John. Well, there's always a sort of an aristocrat, an announcer who has a placard and is handed the name of all those that line up to be knighted. Well, the Queen was waiting, and it just shows the Queen had not only a great sense of humor, but that she knows her popular culture, because this rather aged aristocrat looked down at this piece of paper, and of course, we all know John is actually a first name, and so he looked at it baffled and then assumed it had been written incorrectly, and he said, John Elton, and the Queen had such a fit of giggle, she could hardly keep a straight face when he was knighted as Sir Elton John. So she knew who he was. He was actually at Balmoral a number of times, and actually was reported that one time he was up there and he said there was nothing more daunting than the Queen having a handbag over her arm and sort of almost wanting to do a little bit of a step of a dance to sort of move to his music. And he said that was the most daunting dance he'd ever been in, because of course the Queen loved to dance. She loved to reel, which is, of course, the Scottish dance.
Hilary, what should we expect under the reign of King Charles III?
Oh, goodness gracious. Well, I can tell you some facts right now. The Queen has always enjoyed about an 80-something% approval rating, whereas unfortunately King Charles III never enjoyed anything more than about a 47% approval rating. So he's got a long way to go. And of course, there are footsteps that he'll never be able to walk in, nor to be able to achieve. I will say this, though, that we can expect that the public has already warmed to him. There were crowds outside of Buckingham Palace this morning, UK time, greeting him. And actually, a member of the public, she kissed him on the cheek, which would never have been done many years ago. So I think there is a warming, mainly, and the reason, Brian, for this is that both the Queen Consort now, Camilla, and King Charles III, have put duty above anything else in recent years and have put their nose to the grindstone. They haven't been whinging and whining about that, and they've just been serving the nation. And that is what the British public respects and admires. So I think you'll see a continuation of that. One hopes that they will serve their constitutional role, which is to be above politics. Unfortunately, it's Charles's political meddling that has caused a lot of distress and of course, causes approval ratings to plummet.
Hilary, do you expect this moment will just bring the royal family back together, notably Prince Harry and Meghan Markle?
One would hope so. Prince Harry made it too late up to Balmoral. He went separately than the rest of the royal family. According to insiders, originally he was going to be going there with the Duchess of Sussex, but they didn't at the last moment. As I mentioned, that he made it too late for her passing. Interestingly, with his security detail, he then passed out of the front gates of Balmoral to head back down to London, to Aberdeen Airport, and then back down to London, whereas other members of the royal family went through back gates. There's plenty of back ways to go to avoid the press. So yet again, obviously, he has his own he has a security detail, but he's choosing to be in front of the public. We shall see. There is great hope there will be a reconciliation, particularly we've just had the 25th anniversary of their passing of their mother, Princess Diana, the late Princess Diana, and she obviously always wanted her sons to be close and together. One of her wishes was that Prince Harry would fulfill his role, and his role is to be supportive to his older brother, Prince William, who now, of course, is second in line to the throne.
There's been a lot of talk that the Queen really was the glue that held the UK together. And this is a really hard time for the country, right? The economy is struggling. Obviously, you're amidst an energy crisis, right? You've just had a transition in prime ministers, and now this, right? So what then does this mean for sort of the unity of the UK?
Well, at the moment, actually, there's great unity. We saw it at the Platinum Jubilee, which was actually good for the economy. And it's rather surprising, even though there are these bank holidays and there's going to be a 10-day mourning period, you're right. So one would think, well, that will shut down the economy. And you already mentioned a lot of businesses are closed. Thank goodness the strikers aren't striking. That shows quite a bit of deference right there. But actually, financially, the UK tends to, it's sad to say, but do well on these occasions. Why? Because there are so many tourists flood to the UK, and people do spend a lot of money on memorabilia. People do want to be with their community and be outside. So for business, even though in some ways it will be shut, there won't be the financial hit that many may purport.
Hilary Fordwich, thank you so much. Great to get your perspective there on this sad day in the UK and very important one as well. Appreciate it.